Hey my fellow investors, this is Julius with another video of investing. So it's the time of the month where I go through my entire portfolio for the month, how it has performed and the dividends I've collected this month. So before I get started guys, I want to say thank you for those of you who have subscribed to the channel, and for those of you who have not joined the journey, you can join the journey through subscribing by hitting the red button below. That way you won't miss any of my videos. So this is a channel where everyday investors invest in the stock market to retire on their own terms. So when I began this journey, the main purpose was basically to have control over my freedom. I don't want to live a life where I'm told what to do until I'm 65, because I mean, what's going to happen if you don't really invest is that you are going to work until you're 65 and then live off Social Security. Problem with that, sometimes you don't live the life that you have always wanted, you know. We all have goals and dreams, you know. Some of us want to travel, some of us want to leave some wealth behind for our grandkids, but if you don't have any investments, you have to rely on what you get from the government, and sometimes it's so hard to put some money aside for those grandkids when you're gone. But there have to be a bigger goal why you're investing. For me, like I told you, the reason why I invest is to have my own freedom and the ability to retire when I want to. So you have to find that reason why you want to invest in the first place, and then you go from there. But we all have to have a goal in mind, and that goal is what is going to drive you to get where you want to be. So anyway, I began this journey 2 years ago. Actually, when I began this journey, I had no idea how the stock market worked. But I taught myself, and through reading books and watching videos on YouTube. Up to now, I can't say that I'm a master at investing. When I don't know something, I either Google or go on YouTube and watch a bunch of videos. So don't look at me and think that I make so much money, that's why I'm investing, or that I have so much knowledge when it comes to investing. But I put myself in a situation to learn. And that's the challenge that some of us go through, is that we're not willing to learn, or we're scared to start investing because we have this narrative since we were young that investing in the stock market is risky. But if I want to tell you one thing, what's risky is putting your money in a savings account, because really you're not making any money on it. Actually, you are just losing money putting your money in a savings account. I believe savings account should be just for short-term goals, you know. If you want to purchase a car in the next 2 years, or putting some emergency fund on the side. But if you're investing for retirement, savings account don't give you nothing back. Most of these savings account will only give you 0.09. Now really do the math, and you tell me, if your rent is going up by 3% and everything that you buy, from food to your cars to grocery, everything is going up, but then you find that the bank is only giving you 0.09%. How are you keeping up with inflation? Because what's happening right there is that you're losing the buying power. An item that was costing $100 5 years ago, right now may be costing $120. Now, yes, it's true. In the stock market, there's a risk of losing money. But at the same time, there's so much room to grow your money to retire on your own terms. And the good thing about stock market is, yes, it's going to fluctuate in value, but that does not mean they're going to remain down forever. I was talking to a friend of mine actually 2 weeks ago, and he told me his stocks was down, and I told him, you know what, if you can take that opportunity and buy when they're down, then you're going to see more of the return. You see, it's like you buying a shoe. Let's say you're buying a Air Jordan, which is costing $100, right? And then the day comes, and then you go to the mall, and that same shoe is costing $70. That doesn't mean that's the true value of the shoe, but because of what's happening, maybe people don't have jobs or the economy is falling. So if you buy the shoe at $70 and then you wait for 1 year and then it goes back up to $100 and then you sell, that means you're making $30. So you bought a shoe for a discount, now you're making actually money on the shoe. But what people do is they try to time the market. When something's trending, they jump into the stock market. The problem with that, you are buying off of your emotions, and what's going to happen is when you try to time the market, sometimes you may be lucky and you get it when it's lower, but in most cases when you time the market, you're going to lose money. money, because timing the market is like gambling. But what's truly true investing is putting your money in something for long term, especially if you do your research, and if you don't have time to do your research, then seek professional help. The chances of your money growing are higher compared to you're trying to time the market when it's lower or when it's high, because nobody really knows how the stock market is going to be tomorrow. But if you're investing for long term, which most of the people that on this channel do, you are going to see your money work for you. I mean, like I said, I began the journey 2 years ago, and I'm up by almost 40%. Now you tell me, if you put your money in your savings account, I mean, if the money can even give you 2%, no, it won't, Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have some money on my savings account, but that's for just emergencies, and I'm not even expecting that money to grow. That's money that I can access when I want it. If something comes up tomorrow, I can go to my bank, get the money. The money in my stock market is for retirement. So before I go through my accounts, I want you to know that I have two different, and I invest my money through two different brokerage accounts. I have one with Robinhood. Mostly that is for my individual stocks. Then I have Vanguard, which is made up of ETFs and also mutual funds. Most of my stocks, I would say 98% are dividend paying stocks. And what I mean by that, these are companies that pay me either monthly or quarterly by holding them. Because like I told you at the beginning, the reason why I started this channel was for financial freedom, to retire on my own terms. The only way I can retire is if something is producing passive income. So through investing in dividend paying stocks, I can hold these stocks at the same time get paid. And that was the idea behind why I invest in individual stocks. But some of you may be investing in growth stocks. Some of you may be investing in both growth and dividend paying stocks. So I mean, like I said, you have to define your goals. Like, what do you really want to benefit from the stock market before you begin the journey? And educate yourself. Like I said, there's a chance of losing money, especially if you invest in the wrong stock. Do your homework. Start with, when I began the channel, I started with $300. So you can begin with less. People think you have to have a lot of money, but that's not true. Begin with whatever you can afford, and as you get this experience, then go from there. Opening up a brokerage account is free. Actually, now if you open up a brokerage account with Robinhood, you get a free stock. So you can get a friend, right? Open up a brokerage account and refer them. They can use your link, and then both of you get a free stock. So these people are paying you to actually open up an account, and you don't have to pay any pennies to open up these accounts. Now you're looking at Robinhood, which has made it so easy for everyday investors to begin this journey. And of course, if you don't have a friend and you want to use my link, you can check in the description below. You can use my link whereby you can get a free stock and I can get a free stock. And that may motivate you to begin the journey, But above all, guys, like I said, there's a chance of losing money. Do your homework, do your homework, do the research that you have to do before you put your money in a stock market. I've seen people losing their money, and then they look back and they're like, I wish I didn't invest my money. But the reason why we lose money is because, first of all, we don't have a plan in the first place before we begin. Second, we don't know what we are doing. And at the same time, we don't ask for help. And it's always okay. Ask for help. There's always someone out there who knows what they're doing. When I began this journey, I made so many mistakes. And I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made. If you can avoid them, why make them? Anyway, I've done a lot of talking, guys. Now that you're done subscribing to the channel, let's get into the portfolio. So as you can see, my portfolio as of today is sitting at $51,963. If you remember last month, it was sitting at $50,039. So that is a boost of almost $2,000 from last month. And by the way, I didn't invest that much this month. Actually, I only invested $600. Usually I invest $1,200 every month, but I had some personal stuff to take care of this month, so I didn't put the $1,200. I'm hoping that in the next month I can make it up and invest more to catch up. You can see that my dividend yield is at 2.63%. Yield on cost is 3.38%. My annual income is $1,368. That gives me a little bit over $100 each month. That's how much I get paid by holding my stocks. And that can give you an idea of how this works. The more money you put in, the more annual income goes up. And I don't have to sell my stocks. I can still get paid by holding my stocks, which is another advantage of investing in a dividend-paying stocks. You don't have to sell your stocks to see your returns, which is not the case when you have other investments. Even when you're owning a house, the only way you can see a return is by selling your holding. But when it comes to dividend-paying stocks, it's like a money-making machine. You can see some of the holdings that I have. I can't go through all of them, but I have a bunch of individual stocks. I have ETFs, like I told you, and then I also have mutual funds. And that's all for retirement purposes. I don't sell my stocks. I'm holding for long term. The only time I sell is if I feel there are changes when it comes to the fundamentals of the companies I'm holding. You can see I have a total of 39 different holdings and between Robinhood and Vanguard. When do we come to as far as diversification, you can see that I'm well diversified. I'm diversified in different sectors. Actually, I'm diversified in over 12 different sectors. You see, I've talked about the importance of diversification. Diversification gives you that cushion when the stock market goes down. Because, I've seen it in instances where you have the oil sector going down or the communication sector going down, but then you have the energy going up. So the more diversified you are, the more cushion that you have when it comes to investing. You don't want to invest in 40 different stocks, but they're all under the same sector, because what's going to happen is, if you are owning all these 40 stocks and then in the same sector, and that sector kind of crashes, then you're going to face trouble, right? But if you have different sectors that you invested in, even if one goes down, in most cases one is going to go up. And that's why sometimes, even when the stock market is crashing or we have a correction, which happens most often, I'm still going up because of the stocks that I'm invested in. I'm more diversified than the average investor. So when we take a look at upcoming dividends, and that's a good thing about this app that I'm using, gives you what basically an estimate of how much you'll be making per given month. Now, these are not guaranteed. Sometimes these companies can cut their dividends, with no warning. So don't be surprised when they do. But find out why they're doing that. So with this app, it gives me like an estimate of how much I'll be making. Now you can see that my stocks, I get paid each month. And that's a good thing about trying to kind of stay diversified and at the same time pick stocks that pay on a different time frame, because you don't want to invest in stocks that only pay quarterly, because what's going to happen when you retire, you're going to have challenges. You see that some months I'm making more. You can see like June, I made $135. Then you look at July, I'm gonna make $74. So some months you're making more, some months you're making less. Of course, I can't retire on this, but this gives you an idea of how stocks pay dividends. And then I don't get this money out. Basically, what I do is I reinvest the dividends, and they make me more and more money. Agencies paying me $8.13. Bank of America is $4.21. Duke Energy is $5. Johnson Johnson's paying me. Long-term care is paying me. McDonald's. You see, all these, if you take a look, these are all paying me to hold them, right? And that gives me, let's see, how much am I getting? How many stocks are paying me this month? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 different checks this month, guys. 20 different checks. You know what that means? That gives me, on average, 5 paychecks each week. And like I said, I made $135.06 for this month. Now I can get that money out and use it for something. But to me, because my long term is to retire on dividends, and I still have a job, my day job, there's no point of me getting this money out. I'm going to reinvest this money back into the stock market, at the same time invest the $1,200 each month, in hopes that in maybe next 10-20 years I can retire and live on my own terms. Anyway, that was it when it comes to my portfolio as of today. So that was it, guys. That was it when it comes to my portfolio. I know it's been a long video and I don't want to take more of your time, but I always, towards the end of my videos, I ask people to join the journey. Why? I ask you so that you can stay motivated. You know, most of the time, even when I began investing, the people I was watching, they were already in six figures. Their portfolio was sitting at six figures already. So when I began this channel with $300, I wanted the people to join the journey so that they can see how somebody from a no financial background, at the same time being a foreigner in a different country, English being my second language, not making six figures, can be able to build a portfolio. I believe, and you know, the one thing that can cut me off is time. But if time is on my side, I believe I'm going to build $1 million portfolio. And I want you guys to be my witnesses. I want you to be part of the journey. You know, join the journey. See, you don't have to invest $1,000. You can invest $100 or whatever you can afford. But be the difference. Educate yourself so that even if you have to have kids or your grandkids, you can teach them how money works. You know, I worked with this gentleman, smart guy. He told me if you want to make money anywhere, follow where the money is. Rich people don't put their money in a savings account. Why do they put their money in the stock market? Who runs the economy? Rich people. Who runs the government? Rich people. You think they're going to let the stock market crash when their money is in there? So if that's where they're putting their money, put your money there. Follow the money where the money is, guys. You're putting your money in a savings account, you're always gonna make pennies on a dollar. And believe me, you will work until you die. I mean, just do the math. As long as you don't have money coming out of somewhere without you being there physically, I mean, you work until you die, because once you stop working, there will be no income coming in. So right now, as a young person, get something that can bring you passive income. Your goal should be creating different streams of income. If you own a house, well and good. But at the same time, you need another asset that can bring in income. In my other video, I talked about owning a house. That's a great asset. The problem with that, the only way you can see a return is by selling it. And if you sell your house, that means you have to look for another place to live. But dividend-paying stocks, on the other hand, once you own them, they're like a money-making machine. It's like you buy a machine, you put it somewhere, right? And then each month, it's gonna give you a penny. Think about it. You're owning the machine, at the same time, you're getting paid. The more machines that you own, the more pennies. Then as time goes on, each month you'll be collecting enough pennies to buy a new machine. That's what you have to do. Take advantage of compound interest. And like I said earlier, if you don't know, ask. Do research. We live in an environment where technology runs everything. I mean, everybody has internet. The information is right there. All you have to do is access it. People out there, you know, I get people texting me and emailing me from third world countries. They have no access to the internet, but they're trying to learn how the stock market works. But then you're here in America where you have access to everything, but you're not taking advantage of it. At the end of the day, nobody can change the situation. It's going to be up to you. Anyway, I've talked enough, guys. I hope you like the content, and I hope you're staying motivated and encouraged and inspired to begin this journey. I want to say thank you for watching the video to the end. I'm asking for you guys to subscribe to the channel. To mean a lot. And I know it's going to take you 1 second of your time, but by you clicking on the red button below, you'll be supporting this channel so it can reach more and more people. All right, guys, enjoy. 4th of July is coming up. Enjoy the weekend. It's gonna be hot outside, so man, just stay cool, stay safe. See you next time.